All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Las Vegas Raiders rookie offensive lineman Jackson Powers Johnson, or JPJ for short. JPJ, I tell you what, folks, he's becoming a beast. He is quietly involved in one of the better interior offensive linemen, not just on this team, but in the National Football League. We'll break down how dominant he was against the New Orleans Saints. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us any comments with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, we're going to open up with a running play, and there's JPJ right there at left guard on the right side of your screen for the Las Vegas Raiders. This is going to be standard inside zone run stuff right here, going to the right side of the screen. We're going to get left tackle right here, really kind of base blocking, trying to reach the defensive end there. We're going to get a double team between JPJ trying to reach that defensive lineman, getting help from the center right here. Again, the goal here is to get movement to dent the defense. We're going to get a reach block here. The tackle working up off these heels here to cut off the backside linebacker, a float player, really anyone who shows up in this area, whoever ends up being. But again, let's watch this double team right here with JPJ in the center. Watch them get on this defensive lineman and absolutely, totally, and unequivocally humiliate him. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. There's a double team. Movement, drive, dislocate. Throw him into the dirt, turf, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. This is awesome. Base him up, get movement, drive him back. Good hole, winning football. This was all game long, folks. This has been what we were waiting for with Jackson Powers Johnson. JPJ becoming a star right in front of our own eyes. And look, I know it's the Saints, but ignore the Saints record. They got good players. The Saints have issues on offense because of injuries. Defensively and really across their team, they've got talent. These aren't some scrubs out there that Jackson Powers Johnson's dominating. Look at this double team. Oh my goodness. Gets on him, bases him up, gets some help from the center, walks him back, and then pile drives him into the ground. Great stuff from the rookie right there. From the wide copy, looks even better. Watch him get into this defensive lineman, drive him, get movement, and then pancake him. Oh, that's good stuff. Going back to the very beginning, watch this movement. Look where everyone starts. You can see the defensive lineman right around the 40-yard line, 39 and a half, we'll call it, about 2 yards away from the hash. Look where he ends up, getting completely dislocated, driven back, and pancaked. 3 yards back, 4 yards to the left. Great movement by Jackson Powers Johnson. I'm going to watch this all day long, guys. This is just awesome. This is what you want to see up front. This is how you win football games right here. JPJ, pancake. Great work. All right, sticking with the running game, there's Jackson Powers Johnson, JPJ, of course, at left guard for the Raiders. We're going to get a trap action here. How it's going to work, we're going to get a receiver in motion right here, running across the formation to try and get flow from the linebackers and safeties this way. We're going to get JPJ working up to the backside linebacker, tackle working around this defensive lineman, getting to the play side linebacker, center working back, guard pulling to kick out the defensive line, running back just hitting this seam perfectly like this. This is a beautifully executed play. The Raiders do a great job. I tell you what, folks, they are starting to figure it out. And this guy right here, his attitude, his execution, my God, it's great to watch. Let's check it out. There's a snap. You can see the trap action right there. You can see JPJ working up the backside, 74 working up the play side. There's that crease. This is awesome. Perfectly blocked. Center blocks down. Guard pulls. Little technique thing for pulling guards right there. Gets his head upfield right there. Creates that seam. Jackson Powers Johnson and the left tackle Miller both get their blocks on the right side. They pin the outside. They pin the backside linebacker that way. The play side linebacker that way opens up this nice big crease. Huge run. But let's watch Jackson Powers Johnson finish here. Let's watch him start to finish, guys. You're talking about winning football. You're talking about football that's going to win championships one day for the Raiders. Look at 58. He does the job. Still fighting, still fighting, still fighting. Jumping over people and then pancaking someone at the end. Oh my gosh. Just watch this again. This gets me excited. Again, it starts with doing your job up front, first play. That's good work right there. That's awesome. But look at this, just next level. Jumping around, knocking people over. This is just love of the game, nastiness stuff. I tell you what, we do a lot of these film reviews breaking down offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, front seven play. That's kind of our forte when it comes to these film reviews. But I tell you what, I could watch this JPJ play football like this all day long. This is awesome stuff from the rookie.
Yeah, Nick, and we've seen JBJ, like you said, we've done multiple film reviews on him. We haven't seen this type of play out of him till back in week 9 versus Cincinnati Bengals. That's where he had another star-studded game. But I'd say this game is better. This game is more well-rounded for JPJ. A 90.1 overall game for him. He did really great in both pass blocking, both run defense, just across the board. A lot of great stuff on tape for JPJ in this game. A stellar performance for him. And I'm hoping we get to see more games like this in the future coming into next season.
All right, going with some pass protection now. You can see the Saints, they've walked up three defensive linemen to the right side of the Raiders offense. One, two, and three right there on the edge. They've got the linebacker walked up and they got an edge rusher right there on the left. Now, teams do this all the time. Basically, the goal here is to try and get one-on-one matchups on the right side of the offense. So usually something will happen like this. This defensive line will go this way. This defensive line will go that way. Edge rusher comes off the edge. This guy comes and this linebacker either comes or he drops into coverage. Or there's some kind of stunt, right? 90 may go this way, edge rusher goes this way, and then 94 comes around, one-on-one here. This guy drops into coverage, right? It's stuff like that. It's just generic stuff. Again, I want you guys to watch JPJ here because it's great because he has to respect this linebacker in case he comes. He then has to make sure this guy isn't coming towards him. After that, he's just looking to cause damage to the Saints defense. I love to see it. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. You can see linebacker drops into coverage. JPJ looking for someone, delivers a shot. Nasty, physical, love football. Bang! Look at that. Again, you can see the Saints are trying to run that one of those stunts like I was talking about. 90 works up the field, and he goes outside. 94 loops around and meets Jackson Powers Johnson right there. Big play down the field. Again, Aiden O'Connell, nice day. Jacoby Myers had a day. Running backs had a day. Jackson Powers Johnson, he had an awesome day. I mean, this is just perfect stuff. Again, no one to block right here. Linebacker drops into coverage. He's looking around. See how his head quickly checks to the left? He's like, okay, linebacker gone. Is this edge rusher coming to me? Nope. Okay, let me look to my right and now destroy another human being. Boom. That's awesome stuff. Again, I can watch JPJ play all day long. The way he plays the game from an offensive player's perspective is how I dream of it. The Raiders got a special player here. And you can see from the wide copy, another great example. Linebacker drops into coverage. He checks a defensive end. Defensive end goes outside. Immediately looks back around for someone else coming. Delivers a shot right there. Allows the pocket to be solid. Big play down the field. Winning football from Jackson Powers Johnson. All right, let's go back to power football. I mean, this is just awesome stuff. This is just old school downhill football. It's just great to watch. So we're going to get double teams inside from Jackson Powers Johnson in the center, working up to that linebacker, double team right here on this three technique on the outside shoulder of 66 to that linebacker. 87's working on that defensive end. Bowers 89 working out that way. Colt Miller, left tackle, working out just like this. Running back's going to take this track and basically try and follow this double team. If they get movement this way, he'll hug that. If they get a lot of movement this way, he'll hug that. Basically, it's just reading the double team, just trying to see the best way to go. Once again, I want you guys to watch Jackson Powers Johnson. He's got a two-eye technique right there. Line up on the inside shoulder. If he was on the outside shoulder, we call him a three. If he was on the outside shoulder of the center, we call him a one technique. But he's on the inside eye of JPJ, so we call him a two-eye. It's going to be a double team action right here, working up to the linebacker. Watch the movement. Watch the winning football from the rookie. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. We get double team 66, 71, 87, one-on-one. Brock Bowers working out. Let's look at Bowers here, getting on people on the edge, driving people back. Look at that. Look at him deliver a punch. Like to see that from a so-called receiving threat. Love to see that. Oh, man, the Raiders are being physical. Colt Miller does his job right there. Decent enough there. Let's look at 58. Let's look at this guy. Get into him right there. Okay, decent start. And then dislocate him and drive him back and walk him out of the hole. Look at this dislocation. Look at this dent in the defense. Look at where 92 starts, just to the left of the hash, right on this 5-yard denominator. Look where he ends up. 4 yards back, like 8 yards to the left, 6, 7 yards to the left. That's dislocating the defense. My God, is all I can say. You talk about winning football. Like, I know you got to get the quarterback right. We all understand. Is Aiden O'Connell the guy? They got to get the guy in the draft? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But the Raiders, this is it, guys. This is it. You have it, Raider Nation. You've got the formula. It's Jackson Powers Johnson and this offensive line with guys like Brock Bowers doing amazing things, winning at the line of scrimmage. This is beautiful. If you're a Saints fan, this is disgusting because you're getting embarrassed. 58 is just lifting you guys off the field like it's nothing, throwing you around like a rag doll. This is just better than you. This is just tougher. This is 1-2. This is just, I'm a beast. You're not. Look at this crease. Look at this movement. This is awesome from the Raiders. And again, you may have some complaints technically, right? You know, foot placement, hand placement. Yeah, there's some stuff always to clean up. But look, in terms of just getting the job done and winning football, it literally doesn't get better than this.
Yeah, Nick, and as you said, this again, stellar performance by JPJ, 84.1 run blocking grade by him. His third highest grade, or excuse me, second highest grade of the season. Like you said, we haven't seen play reminiscent to this till back in week 9. But like I keep on reiterating, this was his most balanced game. Not only was he a dog in the run blocking game, he was equally as good in the pass blocking game. 88.3 grade for him there. You go back to that week 9 game, 91 run blocking grade, but in the 70s for his pass blocking grade. So neither are bad, but neither of them are as equal, good, or balanced as he was this week. This was pretty much the perfect game for JPJ. Did great in both aspects of the game. He worked on a couple of other things that I think that he should have worked on. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but overall, just a really strong performance by Jackson Powers Johnson.
All right, going back to some pass protection, there's JPJ, of course, right there at left guard. They're going to still run to the offensive left. Number 8's going to fake the handoff this way. Then he's going to slide out here and try and pick up any edge rusher coming off the edge. And everyone else on the Raiders' offensive line is sliding to their right. So 71's going to take that gap, 66 that gap. Center of that gap, Jackson Powers Johnson's going to take that gap, which means he's picking up number 50. And Miller's taking this gap, but in all reality, he's just one-on-one and 99 right there. So how it ends up actually shaking out is, like I said, we get one-on-one there, and we're going to get one-on-one here. Once Jackson Powers Johnson, he's dominating the running game, but he's dominating in the pass protection department as well. Let's check it out. There's a snap, play action, running back goes outside, quarterback steps up, avoids the pressure, ends up completing the football down the field to Brock Bowers. Good job by Aiden O'Connell across the board. Let's look at Jackson Powers Johnson. Again, winning and dominating. Gets down into his gap, gets on 50, secures him, locks him up, dominates him, completely keeps him away from the quarterback. Look at this collapsing pocket, right? Across the board, the protection, not great here from the Raiders. You can see pressure right there from 99, almost gets a sack. You can see this defensive lineman, 93, I believe, from New Orleans, gets some push in the pocket right there. He's right in O'Connell's laps. Running back doesn't do a terrible job on the linebacker, but he's able to fight it off and get pressure on O'Connell. Who's the only guy keeping the quarterback perfectly clean and safe? JPJ. This defensive lineman, this nose tackle, gets nowhere near the quarterback, stays far away, helps make sure that Aiden O'Connell delivers the ball down the field. Again, not a perfect rep from Jackson Powers Johnson. Hands a little outside. He yanks a little too much. He may get called for a penalty every now and then. But overall, once again, dominating, blocking, winning football. I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. What you're seeing from 58, folks, that's how you will win games going forward. It's why you dominated the Saints, and it's why I think the Raiders have a real chance to become a force in the future. Jackson Powers Johnson, just as important as a guy like Brock Bowers. Again, from the wide copy, you can watch JPJ get into this defensive lineman and just shut him down. Move his feet, stay in front of him. Again, he's a little high, straightens his legs out. Yeah, I guess you can ticky-tacky, care about things like that. I never really did. Coaches, they'll correct technique. They'll always find something to fix up. But just winning football, right? Does your guy get pressure on the quarterback? Do you win the line of scrimmage? In virtually every single play, Jackson Powers Johnson didn't just win the line of scrimmage. JPJ dominated it, whether it was getting movement in the run game or not giving up any pressure whatsoever in the pass game. Phenomenal performance from the rookie. All right, going back to the running game, it's just going to be a downhill concept right here for the Las Vegas Raiders. Everyone's basically going to block the gap to their left, how it ends up going. So we're going to get kind of a fan out with the left tackle on the edge rusher, fan out by JPJ on 99, Chase Young. That's a good player. We're going to get a double team here, trying to get some movement, dislocate the defense. We're going to get a block down there, insert here, insert here, insert here. Basically, everyone trying to get some movement here, and the running back has a tough job. If they get enough movement inside, let me clean up the screen here for you guys. If they get enough people washed down inside like this, the running back will try and scoot behind it. Or what could also happen is they get a lot of movement this way, and the running back can bend back behind it just like that. It's a really well blocked. Once again, Raiders doing a great job. JPJ does his part on the backside, lifting. Just a great feat of just raw strength here from the rookie. Let's check it out. There's the snap. You can see downhill run, bounces it, productive play. Downhill, good hard finish to about 4 or 5 yards. Winning football, right? Inside, we get a double team between the center and the right guard, get some movement, dislocate him out of the hole. No one gets up to the linebacker. That's the one thing that I probably need to work on. You can see right there, backside tackle does a good job squaring up 92. Want him to stay on him a little bit better. Overall, the tight ends do a great job washing people down, playing physical football, trying to move people. Solid effort. Let's look at JPJ. Again, he's just kind of fanning out, blocking Chase Young. Does his job good, but watch him just like lift him there. That's just power, guys. Look, we see JPJ in consequential blocks doing a great job. We've seen that in the entire sequence. But every once in a while, there'll be a play where he's up against a really good player. I mean, this is Chase Young. He is a really good player, especially in the run. And JPJ just lifts him. Look at that. I mean, it's a little thing, right? It's not something that jumps off the broadcast when you watch it live. but it's a feat of strength and power. It's just that special nature, just more evidence, corroborating evidence, as we like to say on this channel, of how great a player Jackson Powers Johnson is becoming.
Yeah, Nick, can we talk about how great of a player JPJ is becoming? And that shows in the work he puts into the game. One thing I've been harping on about him all season is the penalties. This guy has been a penalty magnet all season long. 14 penalties on him this entire season. It's a lot. He's a really great player. He's doing a lot of really good stuff, but he's making a lot of dumb rookie mistakes as well. Really just been awful in the penalty department, and we've talked about it ad nauseum. What does he go out and do the last 2 games? Does something he's never done before. Back-to-back games with no penalties in them for JPJ. A really strong performance, working on cleaning things up, playing really strong, really powerful football, as we saw here. Him doing a lot of domination in his game, but not getting called for penalties while doing it. I think it's a really huge step in the right direction for JPJ. This Raiders team doesn't need any help, going backwards, being a bad team as far as their record goes. So the penalties don't help, and I'm glad he's been able to really clean up his game and play really well while doing it.
All right, let's end on one of my favorite plays from JPJ. There he is, of course, at left guard. It's just going to be a standard inside zone concept. This is a play everyone runs. So basically, everyone on the offensive line is taking the gap to the right, just like this. Taking the gap to the right, taking the gap to the right, taking the gap to the right. H-back / tight end over here. He's coming across the formation, and he's going to try and kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage, whoever ends up that becoming. So let's say 99 works up the field or just bounces outside. 87 works up and picks up the safety that's going to fill, right? Or there's no safety fill and the defensive end flashes down. That's who 87 blocks, right? It's just standard inside zone stuff. And the whole point here is we're trying to get hats on hats on hats and just get movement up front, dislocate everyone this way, get the seal, and then get the running back working this way, and then the cut behind it. It works literally perfectly as designed. The Saints kind of put themselves in a bad position, but watch Jackson Powers Johnson start to finish. Again, his block at the initial sequence of this play isn't fantastic. It really doesn't need to be, but his just attitude, his demeanor, and his God, I just love it. His finish is unreal. Let's check it out. There's a snap. You can see 87 across the formation. Looks for someone to block. Secures the backside right there. You can see the Saints are really slanting hard to the right side of the offense. So they get this completely washed down. Running back cuts back. It's a big play. Watch Jackson Powers Johnson start to finish. Again, this is just awesome. I run out of words to say. He runs. He's trying to get hat on hat. He doesn't get up to the linebacker. Just does his job sprinting at least. Not a great rep. But right here, he sees the running back. He's sprinting, trying to find someone to block. And then boom. Finishing blow at the end. This is nasty football. This is winning football. Hey, man, you want to be around piles? You want to be a safety and try and make a tackle? You want to see, watch 32. What's 32 doing here? Watch him at the end. What's he doing? He's trying to do a little peanut punch, right? He's trying to force fumbles, trying to make a huge play, trying to be the star. Wants all the announcers to talk about how great a football player you are. Well, tell you what, 32, you want to be a big, great football player? Say hello to the freaking turf. Oh, that's awesome. DBs, linebackers, defensive linemen, you want to punch for the football? Welcome to the ground. Winning, dirty, nasty, freaking attitude. I love it. Raiders fans, you should love this stuff. This is awesome. Jackson Powers Johnson, this attitude, this mentality, this is why Antonio Pierce was hired to be the head coach. This is why you play the games like this. Is it perfect? No. Is it technically great? You could argue he kind of misses the block there. You'd like him to get more on that linebacker. But just his demeanor, attitude, physical nature, love to see it. Great stuff from Jackson Powers Johnson.